Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, I'm going to do a rework on a guide I did. It was one of my earliest guides. The reason I'm doing a rework of it is because in that guide, I call her by the wrong name a ton, right the way through the intro. And because it was like pre me having a camera, knowledge has changed a bit, so I just want to update it. Also, because we're on Double Void weekend, it just feels like a really relevant time to update the guide. So for those who haven't guessed it yet, that perhaps haven't been around for as long, we're doing a Coldheart updated guide. Yes, guys, it's Coldheart. This is not Apothecary. So what do we need from Coldheart, and why am I doing her specifically as an update? The actual reason I'm doing her, if we check my tier list, she gets 2 MVP spots for end game teams. Spider and Finite, she gets MVP for both of those, and she's also just kind of useful in other areas of the game as well. If you pull her early, she'll probably be in your arena team, your dragon team, maybe your clan boss team. When you develop further into the game, she'll start to specialize for you in Spider and Finites, and then eventually, even in the end game, she'll probably still be in your Finite team. I've got 2 in mind, my actual end game teams, and she'll probably stay in your Spider team as well, because she is an absolutely insane rare. Game changer. Absolute game changer. She gets better as you get further into the game. That's something to be aware of. If you pull her as like a level and you're doing literally like the early game stuff, she's not as effective as when you get to late game. That's really important. So, what's she got then? She's got a 4-hitter in her A1. It also places a heal reduction. So this is a great ability for Finite. 100% heal reduction is massive against the Finite. It means that he won't keep healing every time he has his turn. Massive. 4-hitter as well means that you're going to break down that shield pretty quickly. She's got an A2, which is an AoE ability. If you book it out, 35% chance of placing decreased accuracy, the big version. That's actually pretty good. For Spider, that's quite nice. Also places a poison, so not a chance to, will place a poison if there's heal reduction out there already. So if her A1 has done heal reduction, she's done a poison as well. Again, that's quite nice for Finites. This is what she's all about though. Single target, 1 smacking nuke. So she drops 100% of the turn meter. That's not reducing it to 0, because sometimes turn meter goes above 100%, but she'll drop 100% of the turn meter. Has an extra 30% chance to crit. This is a really important line here. Extra 30% chance to inflict a crit, which means you can build her to a 70% crit rate and still get crits off of this ability. Damage increases according to enemy max HP. So you actually don't need to build a load of attack into a kit. You just want to build her with high crit, well, I say high, 70%, and as much crit damage as you can to get this to nuke, which is really cool. Something to be aware of, this ability takes accuracy. This ability takes accuracy, and this does as well. But this is important. This ability, if you do not have enough accuracy, then it won't work. You will not reduce the turn meter. If you don't reduce the turn meter, you're only getting half the benefit from this great skill. So it's really important to get her accuracy up. And if you specialize in her in dungeons, you want to take the level of dungeon that you're on. Let's say you're on stage 13. Times that by 10, 130. That's the minimum accuracy you need for the stage you're on. If you're doing stage 20 stuff, you want 200 accuracy minimum. Okay, so we're going to show how to build her. I'm going to show like a earlier to mid-game build, and then we're going to take her into full nukes. So in terms of Masteries, early to mid-game, and I'll change this up towards the end when we're going to show her as a late-game build, you probably need the accuracy from the accuracy tree to get to that level of accuracy that we just spoke about. So you probably would want to go accuracy 1, 2, 3, so that you get that Heartseeker off. You will probably want to take Laura's Steel to get yourself extra stats from the sets, if you've got sets that work. But you definitely want to take Evil Eye. Evil Eye is probably more important than Laura's Steel, because dropping turn meter with that single A1, firstly, she does like a random hit in A1. So in Spider, the first hit against the main Spider, you're going to drop its turn meter by 20%, which is massive. But also, when she's A1 in throughout the fight, 3 of her random hits are going to hit spiderlings, which will drop their turn meter by 20%, which can be the difference between you surviving and not. So this is one of the most important masteries on her if you take support tree. If you don't need Law of Steel or you're doing mixed sets, and you probably will do mixed sets because stats are more important than sets on a Coldheart, then actually Cycle of Magic's quite cool because it will give you a chance to get your Heartseeker back early. So I quite like this for an earlier game build. In terms of the secondary tree, we're going to want to do offense. So let's move me out of the way. Crit rate 100% of the time for almost every champion in the game. Crit damage as well. She needs it. Now, with her, I would say it's quite useful to go Life Drinker in case you're taking damage, into Cycle of Violence for a chance to get that Heartseeker ability back early. I quite like to go into Blood Shield. If we kill someone, we get some shield because she's quite hard to keep alive. And then into Flawless Execution. So Flawless Execution gives us stability of damage. Okay? And then you've got a few kind of ones just to fill in. So we could get an extra chance to place a decreased accuracy here. It's quite nice. Chance to put on things like your heal reduction on for longer. It's quite nice. And then I like to take inflict more damage when I'm at full health. And I like to take increases damage to targets with less than 40% HP for that nuke. So this is like an earlier game mastery tree. In terms of builds, you want to hit that 70% crit rate. You want to hit higher HP. So if you've got low HP, she'll be targeted by all of the mobs. You probably won't ever get to the boss. So you kind of want to go for an HP ring. Ideally with HP percentage on it. Like this one. Or this one. Let's move me out of the way again so you can see this stuff. You want to go for an amulet with crit damage on it as the main stat. Ideally with accuracy as a secondary stat so that you gain more accuracy to do your Heartseeker. You want to ideally have an accuracy banner with speed on it. She's not the quickest. She needs speed to keep moving. So something like this with HP on it as well and attack on it is quite nice. I've got one here rolled up which I'll keep on for the whole thing. I'm going to pretend that I do not have this Great Hall accuracy bonus of 80. So I'm pretending right now for the early game build that my Great Hall's not there. So I need to go 80 more than it says. So it says 200. I'm pretending that's 120. Okay. So what do we need then on the main gear? We need to go speed boots generally, or almost every time. Speed boots, and you want to be finding yourself crit rate. It depends what you're going to do. If you do crit rate gloves, because you don't have much crit rate in your gear, then you just throw crit rate gloves on. And maybe we'll do that for this build, and then I'll show you an endgame build where you do it differently. So crit rate on your gloves, ideally with some speed on them, and crit damage, and some accuracy. That's like the 3 best stats you could get. If you don't manage all of those together, then depending on what you need, I would always try and take speed and accuracy, I guess, and get crit damage somewhere else. So speed, accuracy, some HP is nice on crit rate gloves. On the boots, I want speed on the boots. I'm already at, just with those gloves, 70% crit rate. I don't need any more crit rate in this build now because I put crit rate gloves on her. Okay? So all I'm looking for now is my accuracy up, I'm looking for my speed up, and I'm looking for crit damage. Those 3 stats. So assuming that I didn't have equipped gear, these are the only 3 boots that I'm interested in. And I'm looking to see where did I get good rolls. I got good roll here for crit damage, and I got some accuracy, so I'm going to take that. I don't care that I'm not going to form a set. I don't care about that one bit. All I want are good stats. I want an HP chest with speed, crit damage, and accuracy if I can get it. This one does form a set, so I'm like, well, why wouldn't I take that? All good stats, forms a set, we'll take it. Yes, please. And then on the top items, I'm now at the equivalent. Remember, I'm minusing 80, so I'm at 160 accuracy. I need 60 more minimum. I want a bit more speed, and I want a bit more crit damage. So speed, accuracy, crit damage, same stats again. If I can get them in worthwhile sets like Cruel, then I will. If I can't, then I'll just put Mishmash. We're going to go Mishmash for this build, just so you can see what I mean. Speed, accuracy, crit damage, fine, great. Same here again. We know they're all the right stats because that's all I'm looking for. And then I want a Helm with the same thing. Bam, this one. And what we find we've done is we've got 210 speed, 82 crit rate, 229 crit damage, 41k health, which means she won't be targeted by the mobs, and loads of accuracy. It's actually, take the Great Hall away on all of this stuff. So it's actually 39k. It's actually 210, as you saw. It's actually 200, and it's actually 215. So that is a build capable of endgame using a complete mishmash of gear with crit rate gloves. And we'll see that build in action, and then I'll show you how to build up for the endgame. So let's show her off in Spider and Finite. That's the two places you want to use her. That's where we're going to show her today. So you would be running her. Let's make sure I pick the right one up. Yeah, that one. You'll be running her alongside either an HP burn strat or a cycling damage strat. So we'll do an HP burn strat for this. I'll just find my team and then we'll get going. Okay, so I'm going to start by running her in, not an HP burn strat, I'm going to run her in like a speed team that just controls turn meter. So we've got lowest health, highest defense, tank, Zephyr Sniper. Low health, high defense, high resistance. Hopefully she doesn't pull on a load of poison. We've got fast turn meter controller in Sylar with high accuracy. We've got Heartseeker Girl doing her nukes with good accuracy. We've got Mr. Speed just getting us through our abilities quick. And then we've got Stag Knight dropping defense and high health again. So all of the Spiderlings should come here into Zephyr Sniper. Healing for her here. She's in Lifesteal Gear as well. And the main damage is coming from Coldheart. Coldheart's going to do the main damage throughout the whole fight. And obviously what we're trying to do is just get back to a Heartseeker as quickly as we can. Turn meter control coming in from Sylar. She does do her A2 on auto before she does her A3, which is a bit annoying, but it's not the end of the world. Heartseeker goes off there, 1.1 million in what I would class as like a mid-game build. Zephyr Sniper needs to get back to hitting so that she can get her health back. Lifesteal Gear, health goes back to full, and now we're just rotating back round to that Heartseeker ability. AoE there just cleanses out some of those Spiderlings for us. We don't want the Spiderlings in play. We're not using an HP burn strat. Decreasing the speed and the turn meter again from our Sylar. And this is a team that is like your base level team. Yeah. If you've got a miscreated monster, it improves it. If you've got any of the HP burn champions, they improve this team. But this for me is like the base level of team that you can start to get together once you've got yourself a few of the quality champions. Stag Knight could be replaced with a Tyrell very easily. Apothecary could be replaced really with any speed champion, but he's particularly good because of his heal. But yeah, it's just basically getting around to the Heartseeker as quickly as we can, time and time again, without the main spider having a ton of turns. So I think the main spider's about to get its first turn here. Yeah, there you go. We're close to that being, for that turn to never come. We're very close. I think probably if we were a bit faster, but I didn't want to put everyone in crazy gear, otherwise, you'll get upset with that. So we've got one more Heartseeker here, another 1.1 million, very consistent damage level. So probably the next Heartseeker, this is Dunzoed, and that's where she comes in and is a fantastic, fantastic champion. So the other type of comps that you'd run her with are HP burn strats. Really, most spider teams, if you've got her, she's going to be in that comp. So what I'm going to do now, once this is finished, is change her into what I'd class as end game gear. So move her into the sort of gear that I'll be running her in, and the Masteries that I'll be running her in my Finite comp. for literally like my team that I do now run. So it's going to end up being like a 3-minute team, but 100%, 3-minute team, 2 minutes 43, we'll take it. And you can see here she did 5.4 million of the damage, huge amount of damage. So I'm going to strip her bare. Strip her bare, close your eyes while we do it, and we're going to change her masteries, change her gear, and then you can see what she's like in an endgame build. So let's start with the masteries then. I've reset the masteries here. Endgame, you should have enough accuracy in your Great Hall to let you get those accuracy numbers easier, which means, and you've probably got your big boy accuracy banners by now, so you can forget the support tree. The one thing I don't love is that you lose the evil eye by forgetting the support tree, but the benefit you gain is worth losing this, I think. So I run crit rate, crit damage. We still run Life Drinker in case we take a hit. We still run Cycle of Violence to get our abilities back quicker. Still run Blood Shield, and I still run Flawless Execution. So similar kind of line of tree here. I still take Heart of Glory because normally I'm full health. I tend to like this one here, increase damage by 6% when attacking targets with higher HP, which is generally bosses. And I tend to take single out as well. On the defense tree, though, I go Tough Skin, get some more defense, because she's got quite a low base defense. I come straight down to get any extra healing. Chance to remove debuffs. Reduce damage from hits. The main thing I'm looking for, though, is this, Retribution. So when she takes a hit with something like the, from the Fire Knight, for example, she will have a chance, 50% chance, to retaliate. And if she retaliates, she gets a 4-hitter off and breaks 4 hits of that shield. It's huge. It's a huge ability. And then for the last one, there's really a bunch of different ones you can take. This is quite nice. The more stuff you kill, the more damage you stack. So kill streak is what I'd normally take. So that's my mastery build. In terms of my actual item build, the jewelry items will all be exactly the same. The main difference is I want to come away from a crit rate set of gloves, and I want to move into a crit damage set of gloves, which means that your stat priorities flip. So instead of looking for crit damage in all of these extra pieces, I'm actually going to be looking for crit rate in all those extra pieces. So we go crit damage on the gloves. Again, let's just move me out of the way a sec. Crit damage on the gloves with crit rate on them, ideally. I don't care still if they're all perfect sets. It's a bonus if you get, like, here, crit rate with crit damage. It's a bonus if it's on the set that you want. But if you don't get it on the set you want, who cares? Just get good items. If I can get speed and crit rate together, then I will. So let's see what we've got available. Crit rate, speed, HP, all important stats. So I think we'll take those. We still want a chest with HP on it because she's still pretty weak. So again, I can take a random piece, but I'm looking for crit rate, speed. If I can get a little bit of accuracy in it as well, I will. Crit rate, speed, attack, these are all good stats. So we'll take that. I need a lot more crit rate. Look at where I'm at. 210 accuracy. I can kind of forget accuracy requirements. I've got a load of crit damage already. I need another 40% crit rate, and I need speed. They're my two most important things. So we're going to put speed boots on. We're going to look for crit rate and crit damage together. So we end up probably taking those same boots because those boots were already awesome. We're then looking for stats up the top here, which include mainly crit rate and speed. My speed's actually fine already. 188 speed's already high. 250% crit damage is already good. Accuracy's fine. 38k HP is already good. So we're now looking for crit rate to top it off. I'm at 40, I need another 30%. If I can get crit rate and crit damage together, even better. If I can do it in sets which make sense, like crit damage sets or cruel sets, then even better. This is like my top style builds. So I'm looking for as much crit rate in these items as I can get. Or this one's got a chunk of crit damage on it, which I love. That's got a lot as well. This one's got a good blend of crit damage and crit rate. So we're going to take that one. This is the only one in this set that I can match a setup with, so I'm going to take it for the extra attack. And then for the final piece, I just need to see what I need. So I'm pretty much there with what I need on crit rate. I'll take a little bit more. And everything else is solid, so it's just as much crit rate, or a little bit of crit rate and as much crit damage as I can get out of one piece. 20% crit damage here is awesome. So I'm just flicking through to find where's my best piece that I've already rolled up. I'd rather not roll a new one. Save my silver. This is good as well. I think that first one we saw is going to be the one. And it is. So, bam, 20% crit damage, a bit more speed, a bit more crit rate. So we end up getting ourselves to 71 crit rate, 295 crit damage, 223 accuracy, and then good stats elsewhere. So she is good to go. I'll show you another build, which is another version of an endgame build. Basically, it's Relentless Gear. Because you get back to your Heartseeker quicker, Relentless Gear can be awesome. And you'll see in my Relentless Gear, I've got a similar sort of build that I've just done. A little bit slower, because my gear's not quite as good. But it's basically the same thing. On her, I've actually got Helm Smasher. I don't think Helm Smasher's better. I think that Flawless Execution is, but I might be wrong. Not sure. But the rest of the stuff is kind of similar. So let's show you Fire Knights with endgame champions. So they're both endgame builds. Let's do it. And obviously I'm surrounding them with Legendaries, but this is my actual team. So you know I've got tons of Legendaries. These two Coldhearts are actually in my team for my endgame runs. That's how strong this champion is. I could easily put these two Coldhearts in an endgame spider comp as well. You see there we've got a Relentless off for a Relentless build. It's actually quite cool having the two in different sets. So a higher damage, faster one, and then a Relentless one. Because Relentless is still relying a lot on RNG. And sometimes you want consistency alongside the RNG. So you see here we take minimal damage back. And even when they do damage us, they're not damaging the Coldhearts because their HP is up high. And take us onto the Fire Knight here. Both of them have got that mastery that if we get hit, they've got a chance to retaliate. Which is really important because chances are, unless you get lucky, you don't get that shield down first time. We've actually got lucky here. So we should get back to a Heartseeker. Heal reduction goes on. It's massive against the Fire Knight. And then Heartseekers are what we're after now. Will we get one before he gets the turn? We've got exhaustion anyway, so we should be good. And Heartseekers should start popping in now. 350k without decreased defense on. Decreased defense goes up now. This is the one I just built. Bam. 700k. See you later. And that is endgame Coldheart. So, look, guys. Great champion. Definitely going to be in your teams if you've got them. Congratulations if you've just pulled one. Hopefully one of those two builds makes sense to you. I've been Hell Hades. I'll catch you later.